I have to say, one of the guys that I've thought has really been a hero all this time is Ron DeSantis. And in Florida, where they've really been ruling and staying ahead of the game on medical freedom and your right to choose, he just took away your right, or stopped your right to choose naturopathy. This is breaking news. Governor DeSantis vetoes naturopathy legalization bill, keeps naturopathy a felony in Florida. SB 688 passed the Florida legislature march by a wide bipartisan margin, passing with a vote of 33-3 in the Senate and 85-22 in the House, which shows you most of your government in Florida knows what's going on. Legislative champions of this support it because it helps to address the growing physician shortage, has no state budgetary impact, gives Floridians more freedom, addresses a growing desire amongst Floridians for natural and alternative modalities, deregulates a field which has had a near total regulatory ban, allows naturopaths all kinds to describe their education, background, and services without fear from the state. Ron DeSantis, I think, put out a letter explaining himself. And in that, his letter states that he could create more regulation and bureaucratic hurdles, that this would create more bureaucratic hurdles than we already have, but that's impossible. Florida law since 1959 has been the ultimate regulatory hurdle, as it completely bans naturopathy from existing in the state. So his veto letter went on to criticize, essentially criticize all of the people in government that push this forward. In his letter, he essentially tries to make, I think, what is a gaslighting argument that this is better for you. They don't want regulations, they're going to regulate them. No, they don't want it to be a felony, Ron. And he even said there's enough natural medicine in Florida. We don't need this too. And complains that there's not an accreditation university. Well, there's not one in Florida. You can't have, well, who's going to bring an accreditation university and teach naturopathy in a state where it's illegal? So seriously disappointing moment. So Ron DeSantis is apparently also suffering from some of this schizophrenia we are seeing up in Washington, D.C. Ultimately, look, I know we're not in those offices. I'm not in those rooms, and it's easy to sit here and judge. But what I think you can be clear about is there are powerful lobbyists that sit in those rooms. And even though he may stand up, and Joe Ladapo has done great work with vaccines, and DeSantis has been really great around that topic, there's still a weakness. There's still this thought around medicine and doctors. And I guess in politics, you can't just totally close out pharma, because God knows what that means for your future. I suppose he's planning on running for president. And unfortunate for Ron, I think this is going to strike against him when it comes to the medical freedom movement. If you want to sort of track this story or anything that they try to do in the future, there's going to be another governor right around the corner. Stand for Health Freedom was a big part of this bill and getting it to where it was, and all the people behind it. So if you're in the Florida area, definitely start tracking what StandForHealthFreedom.com, what they're up to there.